Alright, I'm heading out to work today on the bike again. It's supposed to be a nice day. Oh my goodness, there's all kinds of debris on the trail. I just ran over a bunch of stuff. I don't know what it is. Well, let's hope the 5mm armor on these tires hold up. If you notice, I only have my speedometer up to 20 miles an hour. I'm keeping this in class 2 just because I'm going to be on and off trails and sidewalks. Just want to stay legal. Don't want to be one of those people. Went on a fun ride on Easter. I didn't have the GoPro on me. It's set up on my wife's bike with my firstborn. One thing I gotta say about these tires are they are definitely road only from riding yesterday, because there were some that you were able to observe if you watched it. Some parts of that trail that was getting fixed, and so they had a detour set up, and the detour forked off onto either a dirt path or a gravel or a rock path, and I could feel the squishiness in these tires. So definitely I think they're more like a street only tire. I just placed an order out for some Shinko 244s, but I'm hoping that the Shinkos, being dual sport, will do much better on and off road than these ones do. Whew. It's freezing without wearing any pants with liners in it. I don't know if you can hear that brake buzzing sound, but apparently that's normal. I spent probably about 2 hours cleaning my bike up, cleaning up my rotors, my calipers, rebedding or resurfacing and then rebedding the brakes, and I got rid of some of the squeaking, but I think I need next time I clean up the bike, I need to check and make sure that the pistons are engaging the calipers into the brake pads, because I was watching some videos from other YouTubers, and one specifically, I think it's Uncle Fester. I don't know, I forgot what the channel name was, but he was showcasing swapping out his rotors on his Juice HyperScorpion. It uses the same parts as the HyperScrambler too, and his pistons weren't engaging the calipers, or one of the pistons wasn't engaging the other side of the caliper, so basically it was just one side pressing in. It was causing quite a bit of brake squeal, and long term it'll cause your rotors to warp if it's not fixed. Found a new way to take to work. This kind of bypasses that neighborhood where it's kind of a scenic route. This truck behind me is trying to be nice, but I just want him to pass me up. There you go. Yeah, but one of the things that I was mentioning about Colorado is the amount of construction that they're doing everywhere. No matter where you go, what street you go, you're gonna hit construction somewhere. And the thing that sucks is they seem to be doing construction on all the roads that are parallel to each other. So even if you wanted to find a different route or use a side road, you're still gonna end up hitting some type of construction. I'm about 320-ish miles in. I gotta say, there's no buyer's remorse. I mean, I love this bike. I just feel like right now, even though there's a huge amount of manufacturers like tossing e-bikes into the market, that are all, for the most part, like rebrands of like a stock model that you can get from China, AliExpress. And Juice and Super 73 are two of the ones that I kind of look at with the custom bikes, just because I like the cafe racer look. The thing that sucks is that Juiced and Super 73, for what you're getting quality wise, you're paying quite a bit. I know for a fact that the individual parts and pieces that make up these Juice bikes they're really cheap. I think they could still turn a profit even if they sold this Juice bike at $2,000 instead of $3,000. And that's one of the reasons why I kind of, aside from the range and the battery capacity of this HyperScrambler 2, the other reason that I kind of went with Juiced over Super 73 is you're just getting so much more features and benefits on the bike without having to kind of go out and look to buy all the various different parts and pieces. It just kind of comes from the factory like 100%. I feel like the Super 73s, they're super nice. I'm definitely gonna get one once we sell my wife's old e-bike, but I just feel like that one you just have to be prepared to buy a ton of different parts and pieces to get a fully operational bike. So I feel like because it has such a huge community and such a huge like aftermarket group of people doing and building things, the Super 73 kind of uses that to their advantage, and they ship out a bike that's like super expensive for what you're getting, and it's like only 80%. And that's just based on observations that I've made from watching all the Super 73 YouTubers, because there's no juiced there's really no juiced bikes YouTuber that creates content consistently. Fingers crossed that I can be that person, but I'm kind of lazy with doing post-production stuff, and I definitely don't want to just do silent rides. So I'm trying to get used to talking to myself about random topics. It's really weird. I'm in a wide open field. Look at that view. Yes, I'm not pedaling at all, and I'm just doing full throttle today. I only use one battery at a time. I don't know what it is about how they have the circuit set up, but it just feels like if I'm running 2 batteries, my range suffers compared to running 1 at a time. There's a ton of broken glass right here. Here's one thing that I hate about people in general. I don't know if it's like pedestrians or drivers that are just dumb, but I hate it when people litter or think it's a good idea for the community to like break and throw glass bottles and break them on the sidewalks. It's like, come on, you're trashing up your own community. I'm waiting for Juiced to have their fenders back in stock. Or not even their fenders, they're the rear rack for the HyperScrambler 2. I would choose the rear rack over the fenders, just because once I get that rear rack, I'll be able to have a pannier bag back there, and I'll just put my giant kryptonite and never forget about it, whatever, chain lock in it. I mean, it's a super sturdy lock. It's just, it's a lot heavier than I was expecting. I mean, you read the description, they're like, oh, it's 13-15 pounds. And I mean, I lift weights and work out every day, and I'm like, oh, 15 pounds, that's not going to be too bad sustained. But wrapped around your shoulder, sling bag style, it's extremely heavy. And I tried putting it on right in front of the seat, wrapped around the bike, but it's just like the chain links are so big that you're limited on how tightly you can wound it around your bike, and the giant lock was just slamming against the battery. And of course, being paranoid as I am, I don't want to hit a giant bump sometime and just damage the cells. I mean, I know it's not very plausible, and it's not something that's very likely to happen, but Better be safe than sorry. Oh yeah, it's feeling good. I don't know if it's because it's closer to 8, but it's not too bad now. Not too, doesn't have that biting wind. Basically froze my fingers even wearing these gloves. Sometimes it's nice to ride without the family. Love riding with the girls, but my wife doesn't like riding on the road. She prefers to stay on the bike path. And I mean, I don't fault her for it, just because the way people drive here, they drive like they own the road, and they get super agitated and upset that they have to share like 2 feet of the road with someone on a bike. But the other day it was pretty fun. My wife and I dropped our kids off at my mom's, and we just went on a 2-hour cruise around town. It was pretty fun. We haven't done that, a cruise like that, without our kids since before they were born. Before we had our kids, my wife and I, we biked all the time. Of course, we didn't have e-bikes back then because the e-bike market was still trash. I feel like these past 3 years is really when improvements have been coming out to range power of the bikes.